welcome back. And for those joining me today for the first time, hello, my name is Leia and welcome. Today I am going to be talking to you about some of my favorite AliExpress finds. Now, if you're not sure what AliExpress is, it basically is an Asian marketplace for the most part. I think there's some items that come from different suppliers. I think you can get stuff from Russia. The odd time I see things popping up from the USA. I believe it's a global platform with multiple different sellers from different areas, but for the most part, for the things that I've come across, a lot of them are coming from Asia. Now, a lot of things can be purchased fairly inexpensively as well. If you're looking for something, pretty much anything that you can think of, you can probably find it there and at a cheaper price than what you would normally pay here on Amazon or in store at regular retail. That being said, I do have a little pile of things here. I have been purchasing off of AliExpress for a number of years now, and I have come across some really bad things that I have gotten over the years, and maybe that'll be another video, but for the purposes of this video, these are some of my favorite things that I have come across on AliExpress. Now, there are different sellers, so some of the pricing might be different, but I will try to leave links from the people that I personally got them from down below, but if I can't, I will mark it with an asterisk or something, and I will try and find another link for the product as well. To start things off, I have some lashes. And you don't have to spend a fortune to get some good quality lashes. I really do enjoy getting these things off of AliExpress or eBay. I think they were each $3 or $4. They were a little bit more pricier than if I just got like a single style of lashes, but because there were multiple styles in there, they were a little bit pricier than maybe the $2 I normally spend, but I really do enjoy getting lashes off of AliExpress, and for me, I can't go wrong because I'm really hard on my lashes. Half the time I wreck them getting them out of the packaging, or I get frustrated trying to get them on, so I don't want to spend a fortune on lashes, so these are a good buy for me getting them just because I'm not wasting my money on them, because I've gotten high-end ones and they've been garbage sometimes, or they only work once because I've gotten frustrated and I just rip them off and then I lose them, or because I usually have to trim them, I end up messing them up. So far better to spend a little bit of an amount, and for the most part, I am very satisfied with the lashes that I have gotten from AliExpress. The next things I want to talk to you about are eyeshadow palettes, and I do have a number of them here, and most of these, not all of them, but most of these are dupes for higher end palettes that maybe I wanted to get but I missed out on, or just didn't want to spend the price tag on them because I didn't feel like they were something I was going to use all the time to justify that higher end price. But I do have 3 different brands here, and 2 of them are my favorite. One of them I just kind of got and I really am enjoying it, but I only have one palette from it. So I'll start with that one, and this would be the Handaiyan Golden Time palette. And this one I dropped at one point, so this shade crumbled and smashed, but this is what this palette looks like, and I don't believe this is a dupe for any palettes that I've seen. I mean, it could be. If it is, let me know in the comments below, but I picked this one up purely because I was drawn to like the blue and the green and this color here, and well, pretty much all of it. This is a color story I really enjoy, and I have to say, again, I've had many palettes from AliExpress, and some of them irritate my eyes, and some of them aren't great quality, and some of them are just garbage, but the ones that I'm showing you here are ones that I really enjoy using. They're ones that I do get use out of, and they have survived kind of declutters and that sort of thing. They're ones that I'm keeping around because I really do like them. So yes, this is the Golden Time one by Handaiyan, and I only have this one from this brand. The next brand I have is You Can Be, and I have 3 different palettes here, and these are all dupes. I have the Emancipation Volume 2. They do have a Volume 1, but this is Volume 2, it says on the back. And it has beautiful packaging. I'm not sure if you can see that, but it's got like the flower kind of overlay of it with the shininess on it and like the more matte background. And then this is a dupe for the Subculture palette. I never did pick up Subculture, but I did have a Makeup Revolution palette that was pretty good. It was a reloaded palette, but this one actually survived that in a declutter because I feel like this one is much better quality. It blends better. It has better pigmentation. I really, really like this as a dupe for the Subculture palette. I didn't want to spend the money on Subculture just because of so many people having so many problems, and it seemed like a high maintenance palette, and as much as I like the colors, I don't want something that high maintenance. So I was really pleased when I found this. Next one is the Rhythm palette by You Can Be. I will link in the cards here a video that I did on a review of this, and it is a dupe for the Prism palette. And again, really like this palette. It is very similar to the Prism. It is a very good dupe. I got some beautiful looks out of it, and I really like this. The packaging is really nice. It kind of has that suede cardboard feel to it. And then the last You Can Be palette I have here is the Aromas palette. It's the one that makes my lighting go all wonky. Again, I will link the review for this in the cards here. And this is a dupe for the New Nude palette by Huda Beauty. Again, with this one, it isn't as good of a dupe, I think, as some of the other ones out there. I don't think they hit the nail on the head with the quality of it, but as for the shades, if that's what you're going for that kind of color story, for the price, you can't beat it. And then the last brand that I have for eyeshadows from, what are we talking about, AliExpress is, I think it's Focular? Not sure. Again, I don't think these are dupes for anything. They might be, but this is one, I really like the packaging on this. This is the Ever Changing Tropical Vacation eyeshadow palette. And this is what it looks like. I really like the colors in this one as well. Then I have the Twilight palette here. And this is what it looks like. I think some of these might be dupes for more of the Huda Beauty ones. I'm not sure. And then I have the Sweet as Honey palette. And this is what this one looks like. I really do enjoy these brands for eyeshadows. I try to stick to them if I see them coming out with things over other ones, just because I know they don't irritate my eyes. I trust the company to a certain extent, as much as I can trust a company. But I know they're not putting out knockoffs. I know they're using their own formulas. I know they're putting their ingredients on here. They're even putting expiry dates on here. So I really appreciate that about these companies. And I don't mind recommending them because I've had such good experiences with them. Some of you may have figured it out, some of you may not, but I am pretty much an eyeshadow junkie and hoarder, and I have a lot. Not as much as some people, but my collection is quite considerable for eyeshadow palettes specifically. The other thing that I have a problem with is brushes. And I have a lot from AliExpress because I don't mind getting cheaper versions and trying them out. I find for eye brushes, I haven't really found any that I really super enjoy from AliExpress or eBay for that matter. But face brushes, I have a few here that I absolutely love, and they are some of my favorites. So I'm just going to run through these quickly. I have this fat chubby one here, and this one I love for foundation. It just buffs it out really nice, especially a thicker, creamier foundation. This one kind of gets it really nice. It gets it worked into the skin, and it doesn't leave the streaks and everything behind. But I like it better than a beauty blender for those kind of foundations because it still leaves that coverage that you might want with it. Another foundation brush I have here is this mermaid one, and this might seem gimmicky, but this one is really nice. It's fairly dense, and it's just really nice when you're doing your foundation to kind of like swipe it on, I guess. But it blends it at the same time, but it's really nice to get like in the crevice of your nose and everything, or any, if you want to get it closer to your lash line and that sort of thing. This one's really nice to use for that because it does get in there, but it does leave a nice finish, I find, for myself on my skin. And yeah, again, it gets in those places that maybe a sponge or a brush otherwise would have trouble getting in. Next up, I have a couple of these Artiste, what are they called? Toothbrush, hairbrush brushes. And again, I really like this one specifically for foundation for the same reason as that other white one that I showed you. It really gets in there. It buffs in the foundation. Again, it's a pain in the butt to clean just because of how dense it is, but it really does leave a nice finish on the skin. Then I have this one. I have a few that are this shape. They're just a little bit smaller, and these I really like to blend out my concealer. Again, if you're going in with a sponge, you're getting kind of the finish that you want because it's not streaky or anything, but it is taking away a certain amount of coverage. That's just generally the way a sponge will work. This one will give you kind of the same effect as a sponge, I find, maybe even better, but it's leaving the coverage there as well. Because it's so densely packed, and full of dust apparently, but because it's so densely packed, it's gonna blend it out just that much better, but leave the product behind. This brush here, I love. I'm not even sure if I can find it anymore because I've tried to find it and I keep getting different shapes of it and smaller ones, but this big powder brush is just it's magic. I don't know what is going on with this brush, but it's one that if I put too much, it's one of those brushes that I use if I put way too much blush on or contour or bronzer or anything like that. I just kind of go in and buff it. I don't even put any powder on it or anything. I just use it and buff it, and it just blends it perfectly, makes it nice. So I want to get more of these, because if this falls apart, I mean, I won't be disappointed. I've had it for a couple of years now, but I will be disappointed because I really like it and I'm trying to find it, so maybe I will. And if I do, I will link it down below. These two brushes here they are dirty. This one just has like gray and like a white tip, and then this is blue here with white on the top. But I really, really like these. I like how firm they are, but soft. They are super soft. This particular one I've been using for my under eyes to set my powder, or to set my concealer, and this one here I've been using for concealer. Absolutely love these. These are a great find. I just got these a few weeks ago and they quickly became favorites. I have this one here, which is kind of a strange angled flat brush, but this one I really like for days where I really want to carve out the contour on my nose. It's really nice if you want to carve out your cheeks too and just get that really sharp line, and just kind of buff it out a little bit just so it's not, you know, a straight line on your face or anything. But when you want that exact precision, this one is really nice to get in there and use it for that. And the last brush I have to show you is this one here. It has the angle on it, and it's my favorite shape for a brush, but this one particularly, I have a few of them now. It's just the density of it is perfect. Usually I can get away with this blush. If a blush is really pigmented, this one's soft enough that I go in with a light hand and it's fine and it blends it beautifully. If something is not pigmented and I need something denser, this one is beautiful because, again, I go into it a little bit heavier and I can usually build it up. I usually don't have to go in with a more denser brush or a fluffier brush to get my blushes to work. So this is like the perfect one. There are blushes that are really finicky that I sometimes do have to switch it out, but for the most part, this style and this brand, it's Gujhui Gujhui. I'm butchering that, I know, but that's what that is. And I really like these brushes. Again, I've had a couple of them for a couple of years, and they hold up beautifully. They haven't been shedding. They're not falling apart. They're not loose. They have a nice weight to them. Beautiful brushes. Can't beat it. Now, the items that kind of made me want to make this video are these items here, and they are concealers by the brand Poudier. I don't know. But these are just skin concealers, and then I have lavender, peach, and maple. And two of them are color correctors, again, a lavender, a peach, and then I just have the regular concealer. And what made me want to do a video on these is how well these work under my eyes. It seems like, for me, I'm 40 years old, so anytime I use a concealer, it's usually okay, but then I have to powder it, otherwise I get creasing underneath my eyes. But as soon as I put powder on, all of a sudden my eyes look really crepey and dry, even though they normally aren't. And it's very frustrating because it doesn't happen until I set it with powder, but if I don't set it with powder, it moves everywhere and it's a mess, and my mascara sticks to it and it gets all dark, and it's just, again, a mess. So I've been trying different concealers and different powders, and you know, it works, it's happy, and I'm sure most people aren't noticing it as much as I am, because, I mean, let's face it, nobody's really like this close to me like I am in a mirror, because I'm blind, so I'm very, very close to my mirror, so I'm seeing everything. But again, it made me self-conscious. So for whatever reason, I was looking up hydrating concealers on AliExpress, and I gave these a try. I ordered the 3 of them, and I really like how these wear. I put these on, and they're not the highest concentration of color. They're not giving you the best coverage by any means, but they sit so nice under my skin. When I use the color corrector and just the concealer, I get enough coverage, and it's like I don't have anything on under my eyes as far as product goes, making it look crepey. It's giving me the coverage mixing the two together, but it's not giving me the crepiness that I had. And I'm even finding when I'm using just the color corrector and putting on like my Makeup Revolution concealer or my Tarte Maracuja concealer, which is like a thicker formula, it really is taking down that crepiness when I go in with the powder afterwards. So well worth the few dollars I paid for these, and I will definitely be picking more of these up just to have as backups and different colors, just to see how, because I don't know, they had like 10, 15 different colors, like color correctors, and they had different shades. They had really light, they had darker, which for a brand that is coming from Asia, that actually says a lot, because usually when you're getting into complexion products, AliExpress does not have a lot to offer in shade range. And those are a few of my favorite items that I have purchased off of AliExpress. Let me know in the comments below if you have purchased anything from AliExpress before and some of your favorite items that you may have gotten. Thank you so much for watching, everyone. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, go ahead and give it a thumbs up. Subscribe if you haven't already. I hope you have a great day. Bye-bye.